Hello and welcome to Cat Yak, where everything's controlled by evil cats. I'm Beast. Today, I wanted to look at one of my favorite book series from when I was a kid. And why not start off with the first one? Let's take a look at the Dungeons & Dragons Endless Quest book, number 1, Dungeon of Dread. You are Carrick, a brave knight in a world where dragons roam. Turn the pages of this Endless Quest book for many new and exciting adventures. When it comes time for action, you decide, will you fight the monsters that rush you from the dark? Will you try to trick the evil wizard who controls the dungeon? Or will you run into the unknown down another corridor? The thrills and challenges don't stop with the first reading. You can ask yourself, what if I had done it a different way? And read the book again to find out. In every Endless Quest book, you pick the path you want and find your own adventure. Will you solve the mystery of the Dungeon of Dread? The choices are yours. Dungeon of Dread was written by, I apologize in advance for messing up your name, Rose Estes. This was the first of several books that she actually wrote for the series. The book was printed by TSR Game Wizards, also known for doing Dungeons & Dragons. Both books I have are second printings from July of 1982. The cover of the book is illustrated by Larry Elmore, and the internal illustrations are done by Jim Holloway. The book has roughly 128 pages, but that is not including the illustrations, and the book has a total of 10 endings altogether. The cover of the book has a male adventurer in the classic green tunic holding up his sword and shield, while a halfling crouches behind him. In front of him, a large white snake-like creature is splashing out of the top of a pedestal. The background of the image has a large bearded wizard in a hooded robe with his hand reaching out in a menacing fashion. The internal illustrations are kind of a grayscale comic book style. Granted, not my typical favorite type of illustration for this kind of book, but they are well done. The story centers around a male warrior and a halfling thief. Unfortunately, the halfling thief is written kind of like an annoying child character. In fact, you meet the halfling late at night when he tries to rob your sleeping body. He tells you the story of the evil wizard and his dungeon, and how his treasure room is filled with tons of treasure. The big thing is, though, when you get there, he doesn't remember anything important to help you. I was able to get the happy ending for the book on my second read through, so the difficulty for this book isn't all that high. Out of 10, I'd say it's at least a 3 for difficulty. One thing I'll warn you about Rose Estes' writing is that she really likes to do wordy intros. In fact, the intro for this book is at least 12 pages long. Granted, this isn't the longest one she does, but if you came to read the book expecting a pick your path adventure or a choose your own adventure type of book, or this long linear read without any choices may drive away the uninitiated. But once you do start the story, it branches out quite a bit, and you can find yourself fighting dragons, spiders, trolls, or even a drunken baboon that basically throws itself on your sword. There are several pages that act as funnels that help push you back onto the main storyline, but there's enough pathways that you can go on several adventures and then loop back to the main storyline without really noticing it too much. The pick your path adventure style mechanics of the book are well written, and the reader can't get stuck in any mazes or loops that'll make you go around and around. Granted, being this is an early book in the series, I wasn't really impressed on how the different sections were mixed up. I accidentally stumbled on a premature ending because I was on the choice page, page B, and it told me to either go to page C or page E. Overall, I felt the book was a good read, and I enjoyed rereading it. The story was good, the characters were likable. Granted, the choices you make don't really seem to matter in some cases, but the replayability of the story was extremely well, and that's really what you're looking for in this type of book. Overall, I'd give it 3.5 out of 5 stars.